I'm back to another album review. This review is something that I've considered making for some time, and I made the decision to go through with it. Before I talk about today's album review, I need to briefly talk about Pink Floyd, The Wall. This is a film adaptation of Pink Floyd's legendary album. Even though it's one of the highest grossing R-rated animated films, it's technically a live-action animation hybrid. I have watched the movie a handful of times, and I find it to be a great movie. It has great music, great animation, fire, explosions, and boobs. I highly recommend checking it out. Now on to today's subject. Today's review is on Nostalgia Critic's The Wall, which was a collaboration between Doug Walker and Rob Scallon. It is made as a companion to the infamous Nostalgia Critic episode from 2019, where Doug reviews Pink Floyd at The Wall. It was released independently on September 8th, 2019. The episode was met with an overwhelming number of dislikes given the fact that it was just half-assed music numbers and barely any discussion of the movie. Admittedly, I've only seen the episode once. As the album, it's only on digital and streaming, meaning that I didn't have to pay for it. In my last video, I said that shit was going to hit the fan in the next video. Now, this album is what I'm referring to. Now let's talk about the songs. The beginning of this album is In the Floyd. The entire album was made as a parody of The Wall, while the review parodies the movie in a really shitty way. The next track is When the Wall Broke Free. Doug Walker claims that this album is a love letter to Pink Floyd, but I never encountered a single person who said anything positive about this album. After that is Corey. Doug and his team got Corey Taylor to fly to Chicago, but Corey barely got to do anything. Next up is the song after this one is really good. Let me tell you one thing. That's a complete fucking lie. Up next is We Need More Victimization, which is debatably the worst song on this entire album. This is meant to parody Another Brick in the Wall, but it's quite possibly the worst parody song I've ever heard. I know that Korn have covered Another Brick in the Wall, and their cover turned out great. This parody is a definition of dog shit. We followed up with So Long, Weird Song. This track spoofs Goodbye Blue Sky and calls it Oscar bait. The truth of the matter is that the original song wasn't even considered for an Oscar nomination. That's followed by The Forgotten Song. Does anybody even remember this track? Right after that is There Anyone Who Cares? Is there anybody who cares about this half-assed album? The track after that is Comfortably Dumb, which is a really shitty parody of Comfortably Numb. Just for comparison, Body Count covered Comfortably Numb. I feel like those guys did the song justice, unlike Doug. The track that comes next is In the Floyd Again. Now, this album is part of the reason why 2019 sucked more ass than 2018. What comes next is Waiting for the Point. Does this album even have a point? What's next is Bring the Runtime Down. Yeah, too bad no one brought the runtime of the album down. The track after that is The Deeper Meaning. This album doesn't even have a meaning. The second to last track is Fenna's The Trial. Sam Fenna, the creator of Satellite City, wrote the lyrics to make this a parody of The Trial. He also did the animation, which everyone says was the only good part about the video. Fenna has the standalone video on his YouTube channel. And someone in the comments said that it got more love than the episode that it was featured in. The ending of this shit show is SpongeBob Theme. It's the only track that Corey Taylor performs on, and it's just a half-assed cover of the SpongeBob theme song. I don't know how this album performed commercially. However, I've seen that it has a shockingly low rating of 1.23 out of 5 on Discogs. making it the lowest rated album I've ever seen on that site. There is a Discogs user who said that Nostalgia Critic was at his lowest point in 2019. And it doesn't help that this was over a year after the Change the Channel shit show. The Needle Drop didn't think this album was funny. Now for my thoughts. This is by far the worst album I've ever reviewed. It was meant to parody The Wall, but shits all over it. Bringing Corey Taylor on board was wasted potential because he barely got to do anything. It's not like Weird Al and Psycho Stick, who have actually succeeded in making good music parodies. Doug Walker failed at this task. And he hasn't made any more albums since. Apparently, Channel Awesome is aware of the poor reception of the album and the episode. For the longest time, Deconstructed by Bush was the worst album I ever reviewed. Now that I reviewed this, holy shit, it takes the fucking cake. And I don't recommend it. Now's the part where I question you. Have you listened to Nostalgia Critic's The Wall? If so, how shitty do you think it is? What do you think is the worst song on this album? Do you know of any YouTubers who have made worse albums than this? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to press the notification bell to notify of future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll actually review something good next time.